Welcome to my show.
Okay, Namhoon Kim. Well, it's been a just eat your cookie. Okay, so it's been about a month of school. Why don't you start off with the change in the schedule that happened for you specifically?
So instead of whatever schedule I had before, now it's basically every other week. 1 week I would go to the actual school. The other week I would just have online classes.
Oh, would you mind going through just your classes on or the school day when you have school at school?
I would start at 9. I would have to be there a little bit earlier, maybe 8:55 at the latest, and then school would end at 4 at the latest.
And what kind of classes do you cover when you're at school?
The main classes are math, science, English, Korean, social studies, or history, and morals, like a moral ethics class, a technology class, and a home ec class. And then some of the other classes would be like music, arts, just music and arts are the other.
And you've been assigned a Korean tutor now. How is that going? And when do you go to that?
So on Monday and Thursday, I go to the Korean tutor during school.
Like, what kind of things do you guys cover? Like everything? Alphabet? Phrases?
In the beginning, it was kind of the alphabet, but then I know the alphabet, so we kind of zoomed by that. Then just recently, on Monday, we were doing sentences, like how a basic sentence is structured.
And how do you feel like your Korean language skills are? What are you drinking now, Hoon?
Peach juice.
Do you have that in the States?
Not this time.
Oh,
In the
okay.
States, would be like jelly inside of it.
Okay, so how do you feel like your Korean language skills are as compared to a month ago?
I know a few more words, and I'm a little bit more comfortable with saying like just simple phrases, like hello and goodbye kind of things.
Okay, really?
Yeah, really simple. If I'm not sure, I know how to say I don't know, and I can understand a little bit more.
Actually, then leading into that, how do you feel being in a school where only Korean is spoken?
It's a bit strange because I can't really understand, so if there's something important, I hope I don't miss it, or if I think it's important, I try to pick up as much as I can. In the beginning of the year, it was definitely harder, but now the teachers know that I can't really speak Korean that well, so they also try to help me now.
Okay. And have you been able to make any friends despite language barriers?
Luckily they do speak a little bit of English because of taking English classes, being part of the school. And I have been able to talk to some of them, and I think friends, they say we're friends, so I think we're good.
So what has been your biggest challenge so far? Along the same lines, what has been the best thing so far?
I guess in the beginning the biggest challenge was just sitting on the chair. But
Why?
it's not the same in America where it would have like some little small indent. It's just flat and it's wooden. And now I've gotten a little bit more used to it. But so then the biggest challenge right now is just making sure to learn Korean and understand the classes.
And what's the best thing that's happened so far? Or
The best thing, I guess, although it's kind of like the biggest challenge, I think the best thing would be being able to learn Korean and while learning try to understand like how another country does their education and seeing differences compared to the States.
well, actually, that's perfect because that leads me to my next thing. We had kind of discussed some similarities and differences in school culture. When you first got started, have you noticed anything else that's noticeably similar or different?
I think this was said before, but there isn't a janitor in the school, so we would have to clean the classroom ourselves. And there is toilet paper, but the toilet paper is outside of the bathroom. So if you forget to grab some, you're kind of stuck. You also have to brush your teeth after eating lunch.
Actually, since you had mentioned lunch, I had the other kids talk about their lunch system and what they have, examples of what they have for lunch. I felt like your middle school was unique, or at least different, because it has the allergies listed. But could you kind of go and explain if you have allergies, how that's accommodated, and then also some examples of your favorite lunches, just to give an example of what kind of lunches are in Korea?
So the allergy list is included with the menu. There'd be numbers dedicated to what allergy you have. And I'm allergic to peanuts, but luckily they only have like a peanut dish once a month. So it's a bit easier to avoid that. One of my favorite lunches was probably today. It was like meatloaf with tteokbokki, the kimchi, rice, and soup. And then that's pretty much how a lunch would be structured. So then kimchi, rice, soup, and some other food.
What are your goals for next month or this upcoming semester?
I guess it'll be kind of the same thing. Just learn more Korean and understand the classes.
Okay. And I believe you have semester finals coming up also. And then what are you doing to kind of, I guess, prepare as much as you can for this upcoming one?
I guess for the test, just regular basic tests, the teacher said that I could answer in English if I really need to. But I've been trying to answer in Korean as much as I can, so I can just get used to it. So the exam is kind of interesting. It's not going to be translated, and I can't use my electronic dictionary.
Oh, okay. So you just have to kind of go with whatever you know and try to do as best you can.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then, as of right now, do you have any things you would have done differently, or advice for anybody that's maybe going into a school in a different country, and having to learn a new language and other things?
I guess maybe advice for people who are going to study abroad. Start studying earlier. In the beginning, when we kind of just got to Korea, we were a bit more relaxed and we weren't really planning to go to school right away. going to go next year when it starts. I think I would change maybe also studying more because it's pretty different or it's really different than trying to learn a language. When I was learning languages, or when I was learning Japanese in America, it's pretty different on how I would study it. And I guess, yeah, that's kind of the main thing.
Okay. Any last thoughts?
I forgot to talk about PE. That's the other class.
Okay. What about PE? Did you have it?
Yeah.
What kind of sports? What kind of sports do you? Actually, let me ask you a couple things. Actually, I forgot. What kind of sports do you have for PE?
Lately, we've been doing badminton, but the most recent PE class was it was gymnastics. Not really gymnastics, we're just tumbling.
Oh, okay. And then for home ec, which I don't think you had in Hawaii, what do you do for that class?
If we don't really do much for the classes, it's more like looking at a book and reading it. It'll be kind of fun to do stuff, but yeah, for all the classes, we might do like a small booklet. It would be just write like a small booklet, or we would just read the textbook and just learn from that.
Okay. Oh, so you actually have a textbook for home ec.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What does it talk about? Like just kind of life skills kind of a thing, or?
A little bit like that, and there was parts about what you should do in an apartment, since a lot of people, if not everybody in Korea, lives in an apartment.
Like manners and.
Yeah, I guess manners and how to just act, like what you should do to reduce noise, or yeah.
Okay. And then also the morality class. What kind of, or I guess ethics or whatever, what kind of things do you learn there?
So for the past few classes in online school, it was more like your opinions on certain things. One was your opinions on the North Korean education system.
Oh.
Or like or just North Korea in general.
See. Okay. All right. That's good for now. And then probably do another follow up in about 6 months when you guys can even maybe say part of it in Korean.
Yeah.